new state that was very different from my hometown. The beauty of therapy lies in the support it offers during life's toughest moments. It's not just about overcoming struggles, it's a journey about self-discovery and growth. If you've ever thought about talking to someone but you don't know where to start, let me introduce you to BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with licensed therapists trained to listen and provide unbiased advice. First, head over to their website and guess what? You can use my link betterhelp.com/asmrwithyadi to get started. Answer a few simple questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional that is trained to deal with the challenges that you're facing. And what's really cool about this is that you can do it all from the comfort of your home, either through phone calls, text, or video chats. It's the easiest way to start a conversation with a therapist, however you feel most comfortable with. Besties, I cannot stress this enough. Your mental well-being matters. Visit betterhelp.com/asmrwithyadi and prioritize your mental health journey today. How are you, bestie? Today you're gonna be getting ready with me. I have a little gathering to go to. One of my friends is actually gonna be moving to Europe, so we're gonna have like a little going away party. But I thought I could film how I beat my face, how I glam for parties, for events that is more than just like a little mascara moment. So let's go ahead and get started with today's makeup look. I'm gonna be attempting my best to still make this a very relaxing video for you. I do want to let you know that it's in the middle of the day, of course, so the cars are gonna be a little bit loud. Hopefully it's not too intense for you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna begin by putting my hair back. This is my flower nose hair clip, and how cute. This is adorable. For the other side, I'm gonna be using this butterfly clip that I purchased a while ago, I think last year at Marshall's. You know me, everything I have is from Marshall's. But the only thing is that the clip actually is supposed to be for this side. So let me see what I can. It's gonna have to be upside down, but it's gonna bug me. Oh my gosh, what I do? Let me get a different one. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I ended up picking up this hair clip that came in my, what's it called, my makeup brush set. And now that we have our hair clipped back, I'm gonna be starting with my primer. This is the One Size blurring powder. It's super old, like as you can tell, the bottle letters have completely erased. But I want to finish this because I did buy the Too Faced Plump and Prime primer. Pero no me he acabado este. I haven't finished this one. I'm gonna just apply it. Now that I'm recording, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see all of my imperfections. You can see my rosacea so much. And something that I've been loving to use underneath any foundation is this, what is this, like a blurring powder. I forget the brand. It just says DM on the front. So I think I've talked about this before. I don't know, for some reason I forget what it's called. I'm just gonna pick up. This is the e.l.f. Buddy Blush brush, but here it is. But I tried it with concealer one time and I hated how patchy it looked, so we're just gonna be using it for little things like this, which is just a little buddy moment. was so confused. I didn't like it at all until I realized, oh my goodness, this is just supposed to give you a glow underneath your base. Now, some girlies do say that this can make you break out, so beware if you have skin that can easily, you know, break out and is prone to acne. I wouldn't use this product, honestly. I bought it already, so might as well use my go-to for my nose. We cannot skip a good contour. Now, what I think makes my nose look a lot smaller is I drag the bronzer to my brow. I connect it, and I think that just makes it look more defined, which I prefer since I don't have like the biggest nose bridge. And then I do it at the bottom and just blend everything out. Sometimes I do like to add a little round tip and then just blend. Now that I have bronzed my nose, I think it's time to try out my flower nose blushes, which are kind of too beautiful to use, but I don't want them to go to waste. We have a really pretty natural blush. This one is in the shade number 5 called Fingertip Stellar, and I think I'm going to be using this blue one. So gorgeous, right? Oh my gosh, packaging 10 out of 10. This one is shade number 4 called Rose Ashes. Rose Ashes, they are very natural, lightweight blushes. So I'm probably gonna end up mixing them with another pinky powder blush. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go in with the blue one, shade number 4. This is the before. I don't think it's gonna look the same after. I'm pretty sure it will be a little bit smushed, so I think I'm gonna go in more on this side where there's less detail, and hopefully it doesn't get ugly. Yes, these are cream. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be too light. This is gonna be too light. So here, let me try it out a little bit more. I don't think this is gonna work. Well, that was a fail. Let me add a couple drops of my Rare Beauty blush. This one's in the shade Happy. We're gonna add 1, 2, and 1, 2. What a bummer. I thought those were gonna look really pretty, but that one is a little bit too light, and I'm not in the mood. To do the natural color one. I kind of want it to be similar to my makeup look, and I think this one's gonna be perfect. I think 2 to 3 drops is enough, especially since I am gonna be adding some powder blush on top. Okay. Period. This is really nice. When I add blush on my nose, it'll be less harsh lines. I know they look a little bit intense, but I noticed that I leave it like this, and then I add blush, and then it kind of just blends in together. If I blend it any more than this, and then I add blush, I feel like the bronzer kind of disappears. And I'm gonna be going in with the One Size blush. This is the 3D Blush Trio Cheek Clapper in the shade Attention Seeker, and I'm using my e.l.f. Body Bronzer Stick for that. Just gonna dip it, and then adding it right on top. Oh, this is so stunning. This is honestly such a pretty blush. Definitely one of my favorites. I'm thinking of getting the corally one, because I have this Kasha blush that's also really pretty, and I tend to use a lot of coral colors in the summer, so I might end up picking that one up. Or One Size, if you're watching this. Well, eyebrows.